Jump out of a penny. Before the trap went cold, we were trapping in the pantry. Trapping the pantry. Anybody got that saying? Ain't nothing changed but the chain. Ain't nothing changed but the chain. When the trap went cold, we was trapping in the pantry. Trapping the pantry. Ain't nothing changed but the change. Ain't nothing changed but the change. Man, I be bumping that, man. But I was trapping out the pantry. Out the pantry. But before the trap went cold, we was trapping out the pantry. Out of the pantry. Ain't nothing changed but the thing. All double R, no fade. Big 10 came with his thing. Yeah, man. How's everybody doing this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Should we do a double live? Should we do a double live? I don't know if we're going to do a double live or not, man. We might not do a double live. Double live, double live, double live, double live, double live. Oh, there we go. There we go. Look at that thumbnail, man. We shining this morning, man. Look at that thumbnail, man. Oh, the thumbnail is shining this morning. There we go, man. Thumbnail, like me, like me, like me, like me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Trump today, man. Trump today. Come on in, man. Share the show. Let everybody know. Trump today, man. It's Trump today, man. Turn it up, man. Per time podcast with the blast real fast in the dash, in and out, man. Make it last, man. 2025 in the dash, man. Come on, man. Trump today, man. Trump today. Let's have a talk. Come and talk to me. I really want to talk to you. We're going to have a talk this day in the morning, man. Come and talk to me. I really want to talk to you. I really want to know your name. You look so sexy. You really turn me on. Blow my mind every time I see your face, girl. You look so... Man, y'all don't got good music, man. What y'all got? Party Next Door? I'm trying to treat it special. Y'all ain't got good music, man. 90s R&B is the lick, man. This is why y'all ain't gonna... Hey, how many people is... Hey, this is a Cookie Monster live, Little Elmo, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know people how many... You know what? NPR, though. Do y'all remember... Y'all remember the year that should not be named? Yo, we was on NPR. When NPR gave us a lot of updates every day. I know NPR might be one of those corporations that will be like, you know, I wish we could have another one of those shelter in place because people listen to NPR during that time. So we're going to talk today about Trump. We're going to talk today about NPR, PBS. Now think about this. This isn't a long line. We made it to the first 100 days. Finally, Trump has done so much. I was talking to one of my colleagues the other day, and we were talking about how in the first Trump administration, he was at Mar-a-Lago. He wanted to be at Trump Tower. But this time, like to get so much work done with Doge in the first 100 days, have you noticed how much time Trump has spent in the White House? Trump, how you doing, Maryland? Is it Quasada? Good morning. Hit the like, double tap the screen or hit the thumbs up to like the podcast. Have you guys noticed how much time Trump has spent in the White House? Like this 4 years, my prayer is that Trump is safe and that we get the entire 4 years and that he is able to be productive as he has been in these first 100 days. Because think about it, your job is the president. What do you do as the president? You're working for me and you. Even if you don't like Trump, you need to understand intellectually what's going on. It's like some people don't be thinking. Trump is the president. He won by an overwhelming majority. And he's a billionaire. He could be on vacation. He has a beautiful Playboy wife. He has an 18-year-old son. He could be hanging out with his 18-year-old son because he's not going to live 10 more years. He could be spending his time with Barron. Instead, he's the president, and he's been working very hard every day for the past 100 days. All we need Trump to do is keep going like that for 4 years, which a lot of people don't do. A billionaire who could be on vacation, who could be with his Playboy wife, who could be with his 18-year-old son, is going to work every day doing 16-hour shifts. Every day for the past 100 days, Trump has been in the White House. Have you seen Trump in Mar-a-Lago? Have you seen Trump in Texas and doing weeds? Trump ain't been on vacation. In order for all of these executive orders, think about so much has been done. So much, we need to do a recap. We should do a 100-day recap. We got the Department of Education. We got today PBS, NPR. We got Doge. Doge went after Social Security. Doge went after the IRS. Doge went after the SBA. Do you know how, people want to say Trump is racist and the liberals are playing with the color and the race card. Do you know how important it is to blacks and minorities and low-income whites when Trump goes after the SBA? Do you know what the SBA is? A lot of us know what SSI is, especially low income. People in the Midwest, they know what Social Security is. You remember the whites? So people know what Social Security is, right? But do you know what the SBA is? The Small Business Association. Because if you never had your own business, did you say hi, Tamala Murray? How you doing, Tamala? Double tap the screen, hit the thumbs up to say and like the show. Small Business Association. So a lot of people don't even know who the Small Business Association is and how that benefits you, because billionaires are not going. You have to be under a certain level of income to be able to qualify for a small business loan. Your business plan, the company, all of this is tailored to low income and minorities. So when Elon Musk, who's a billionaire, who's never going to get funding from a SBA, Trump Trump or his children will never get funded by the Small Business Association. So why would you think Trump would care? I'm just going down the list of why we gonna give Trump his props today before we get into NPR and PBS, because check me out. I'm an American Negro, I'm African American, I'm black, whatever you want to say. But if you go look at the statistics of black boys and literacy rates, then you would know why I've been so passionate about topics like this. Department of Education. Oh, what about the tariffs? We're not educated people on when did Walmart come to your town? So Trump been doing the tariffs. Trump been doing the taxes. Trump been doing education. Trump been doing all in the first 100 days. In the first 100 days, just making Americans think and understand that you have been living in a fictitious world, that you should be concerned. You should be more politically advantageous. You should be excited, like I'm excited this morning, about all the action, about a president who's not halfway dead, a president who doesn't fall asleep at the podium, a president who's actually doing something every day. It's a job. You're supposed to go to work every day. Everybody else goes to work every day. Did you see Biden going to work every day? And then we didn't pressure old Poppy Biden because he's an old man about to die. That's Poppy. So we always assume that someone else is doing the work. But Biden, we knew Biden wasn't doing the work because he's too old. He got left on stage. Barack Obama left Biden on stage. Biden needed help getting off stage. So Biden was not working, doing the job for you every day in the same way Trump is. So you got the first 100 days, bro. We at the first 100 days. And so much has been accomplished. I could say so much has been done, but the truth is so much has been accomplished in the first 100 days. So, you know what I mean? Let's get a poll. Let's get a poll up. Let's get a poll. Let's see, how do you feel about Trump's first 100 days? Let's get a poll up, and we're going to see how people feel about Trump's first 100 days. Negative or positive, what I would love Americans to start to focus on is the fact that if you've been paying attention to the government and to the president over the past several presidents, what you see is you don't see people working diligently in the way that Trump is. And this is a billionaire. He has so many other businesses he could be doing. When you're president and you're a billionaire, remember when he first got to be president, they said, well, who's going to run the Trump business? They have to put that in a trust and put it to the side, and someone else had to run the Trump business. So Trump has to, out of sight, out of mind. Imagine being a billionaire. Like, I have a small business. I would be sick at night. Think about it. Anybody with a small business who just came in, William Afton, do you play 5 nights at Freddy's. No, this is not a gaming channel. So this is not a gaming channel, but I do got a lot of Five Nights at Freddy t-shirts. Hot Topic was going out of business. Hold on, let me get this. Let me show you one. I got one I ain't wore yet. I bought like 3 or 4 or Five Nights at Freddy t-shirts. Come on, I forgot. I'm on the cell phone. I'll take you with me. I'll take you with me. I'm on the cell phone. So let's see. Five Nights at Freddy. What I got in here? Oh, this one of my favorite ones. I ain't even wore this one yet. I think I got more than one. I ain't wore yet. Hold on. Yeah, this glow in the dark. Printed with UV ink. This stupid clean. Five Nights at Freddy's. Let me see if I can show y'all. You'll see that? So I used to do screen printing. You see that other extra layer? You see that? Bite in the background. Oh, this motherfucker clean and it glow in the dark. It's all type of crazy stuff about that shirt. It's some stuff. You can't even see everything in that shirt. You can't even, like, the camera's not gonna do it justice. Cause that screen print, when they did that shirt, they spent a lot of money. I used to do screen printing. So that's a 4-color screen print. Plus, if you know about screen printing and 4-color, you know that's a lot already. But that's a 4-color screen print plus additional, like it said, UV glow in the dark ink. So when it's in, oh man, it's a beautiful shirt. I haven't even wore it. I tried it on at night, but I got it at Hot Topic. Oh man, so I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to wear that. But I got like Hot Topic was going out of business, so I got like 3 or 4 shirts like that. But like, you know, graphic tees is a shit right now, but like really high quality graphic tee. Thank you. William said, that's cool. That's an amazing shirt. I would love it too. Yeah, I really like it a lot. So, and you know what's else? The kids, you know, if you're an uncle and you're a dad, you know, the kids get scared. The kids don't like that shirt. I got a couple of shirts and my daughter, 4 years old, she be like, she don't want me to wear that shirt. You know what I'm saying? Wear a Bluey shirt. I got a Bluey shirt that I wear. How many people know about Bluey? Watch Bluey. So I'll be watching Bluey, man. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for coming in, William. Make sure you double tap the screen and subscribe, man. We're going to talk about Trump today in PBS. So did you watch PBS? Did you watch Sesame Street? How many people in the chat watched Sesame Street as a child? And so 2 questions are going to come. So I'm going to get the poll up. I'm going to do the poll, and I need you guys to answer the question for me. So I'm going to do the poll about the first 100 days, how people feel about the first 100 days. But I'm also asking the chat, when did you watch Sesame Street? Okay, that's the first question. Did you watch Sesame Street? The second question is, what show did you watch on PBS? It didn't have to be Sesame Street. If you did watch PBS, what did you watch? And did you find it beneficial? Are you an adult like me with gray hair, old man, glasses? Do you have children? I have 20-year-old children. In my demographics, a lot of the people who watch me are around my age, anywhere from 35 to 55 years old. So you may have 20-year-old, you may have a 17-year-old child. You could even have a 13-year-old child who did watch PBS at 5 years old. I work in healthcare IT. We talked about that before, being very analyst by trade. And I used to listen to NPR. I would commute like a 2-hour commute every morning. So I did listen to NPR. So I need to know in the chat, who listened to NPR? Did you find it beneficial? And did you watch PBS? And what show on PBS did you watch? Right? Did you watch Sesame Street? Did you watch Super Y? Maybe you go back to It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Would you be mine? Maybe you go back to Mr. Rogers and you can speak to Mr. Rogers. You know, what's the Reading Rainbow? Maybe you know LeVar Burton in the Reading Rainbow. Do you know Bill Cosby? This is the thing about Bill Cosby and LeVar Burton. You know, LeVar Burton got put on by Bill Cosby. And Bill Cosby, you know, used to have his own hour associated with PBS. And Bill Cosby was LeVar Burton before LeVar Burton. And Bill Cosby used to teach and educate. Do you guys remember the Penn Remember when Bill Cosby and the Fat Albert and he did the Brown Hornet and he had this magical pen? He had another PBS show because Bill Cosby has a PhD in education. If you're of my age, when you grew up, some of us had LeVar Burton and Reading Rainbow. Some of us grew up with the Cos. Some of us grew up with the Cos. Like in the Brown Hornet, the Fat Albert was huge. It was the #1 cartoon. And also along with Fat Albert, his comedy, his movies, he did education. He had a PhD in education. When Bill Cosby was going through his Me Too, who was that DJ said, watch PBS coverage of election night and then try to explain they deserve our tax money. DJ, you're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead, DJ. Answer the question. Did you watch PBS? Did you listen to NPR? And what show? And do you find it beneficial? Reek James said, Reading Rainbow, LOL. Okay, so now we remember that laughter means it triggered something. So Reek, did you learn from Reading Rainbow? Was Reading Rainbow beneficial? Now, these questions are facetious because I already know the answer, and you guys already know the answer because right now, Americans, young black boys, young white boys, and young Latino boys. Now, think about this. Think about this. These are the people who we can't get along. We are the core of America, but we can't get along. Latino, white, and black boys are performing the lowest in reading and math. And we all know it. So I am setting you up. I'm setting you up because straight up, DJ, it's not just about election coverage. I'm going to get to the bias, the political bias of PBS NPR because you might be surprised on what we learned today. But I'm starting off with the effectiveness of PBS. I want to know from the audience, was PBS effective for you or your children? Did you watch it and did they benefit? Because you need to get a cost analysis. What we're doing is a cost analysis because people have paralysis. So you do a cost analysis. But what we're doing is for those individuals, just like with the Department of Education who didn't understand the Trump cuts, I want to do a cost analysis for those people. Oh, don't do this to PBS. Don't do this to, okay. If you are one of those people arguing for PBS, most of the time, they're not going to have the intellect to be able to have this conversation. But we're going to have it anyway because we have some intellectuals in the building. So we're going to do a cost analysis. What benefit? What was your ROI? What return of investment? And let me give a baseline. Let me give a baseline for this conversation. In the first Trump administration, the previous Doge, they want to cut. So just to know what else is coming, Head Start. Head Start is going to get slashed. Now, I felt a way about Head Start being slashed. I remember when Head Start was being created. Does anybody in the chat know what Head Start is? HEADSTART, another government subsidized program with your tax dollars. And we're going to do a cost analysis, a cost benefit analysis, ROI, return on investment. That's what we're going to do for Head Start. Then we're going to do that for PBS. Head Start said, low-income minority children are performing low in school reading and math because they don't have food. They don't have breakfast. Despite EBT, $15,000 food stamps, despite welfare, all that, just throw that out the window. Throw out the window. And you don't qualify for EBT. You got a job, so you don't get food stamps. So throw that out the window. Democrats, liberals said we need Head Start. They had Head Start for 20 years. Head Start said these young minority and low-income kids need breakfast. You bring them to school early. We feed them breakfast because the brain needs food in order to function, and the kids will do better in school. The last Trump administration, this is part of the waste. The last Trump administration said, okay, you guys told us that Head Start would help the scores, but actually reading and math has gone down. Reading and math has gone down under the Department of Education, under PBS, and under Head Start. The question is, why should we keep spending money? Not that we should not focus and fix the problem, But why, if the problem is not being fixed and the problem is getting worse, spending money on PBS, Head Start, or the Department of Education is futile? It's almost insanity. It's not what a first world intelligent country would do as they look and assess problems. If you look at and assess problems, you would not keep throwing good money after bad. You would realize that after 20 years of the logic that Head Start would help us improve reading and math, and it hasn't, we need to move the money. We need to stop giving money to Head Start. We need to stop giving money to the Department of Education. And yes, we need to stop giving money to PBS when over the past 20, 50 years, reading and math has gone drastically down under federally subsidized PBS. I'm not glazing Trump this morning. This is not a Trump. I love my president. I think he's doing a bang 'em up job. But I'm not glazing Trump this morning. I want to educate the electorate on all of the work that's been done. They want you to be mad. Think about how perverse and perverted our American country is. They want the public to be pissed at a productive president. The president is extremely productive. How many executive orders? How many changes? How much money has he saved? They want you to be mad because he's productive, because he keeps doing and working every day. Yes, every day I want Trump news, because every day he's the president, and every day he needs to go to work, and we have so much shit wrong. Why is NBC telling me to be mad at someone who goes to work every day? I don't get it. He goes to work every day, works hard as the president. Whether you like the productivity or not, he's been extremely productive. Department of Education. Did you know the truth behind the Department of Education? Did you know Department of Education was created in 1980? Well, let's go back. Let's go to DJ's comment. Let's go to DJ's comment about election coverage, and let's listen to a video where I was extremely surprised at something I learned. So Trump has cut funding to PBS NPR, but then I learned something else today that surprised the hell out of me about why we would want and why a billionaire wouldn't give a fuck. See, a career politician would never do this today. And I'm going to share with you why a career politician would never. Double tap and hit the like. I see more people came in. Thank y'all for watching. Double tap, hit the like. I'm going to show you, we're going to break this down, because DJ said, if you ever looked at the presidential election, then you could understand. Now, do you remember Donna Brazile? Do you remember the Democrats cheating? Do you remember Donna Brazile giving Hillary Clinton the questions? DJ, it gets deep, bro. It gets deep. And when they want you to focus on this stuff, you know what? It's not about Democrats and Republicans, bro. It's about Americans in my country. I don't care about
broadcasting or CPB. That's the congressionally created body through which NPR and PBS get federal funding, including for this program. What's more, CPB sued the Trump administration in federal court today, saying the administration illegally fired 3 of its board members. Those members, all nominated to their current terms by President Biden, were terminated in an email on Monday.
So, DJ, did you know that? Everybody watching, did you know that? I didn't know that. I know corporations, LLC, have board members. I didn't know that Biden had appointed the board. Who knew that the president appoints the board? Why would the president appoint the board members? So DJ, you may be a guy like me, very intelligent, intellectual, who knows things, and people may disagree with you and say, oh, no. Next time you're in a debate, DJ, and you bring up the biased coverage of PBS, I'm going to help you qualify it right now today on why the coverage was biased. Next time you're in a debate, check this out. So I asked Google, I said the president gets to appoint the board members of PBS. Now, give and take that we only give 10%. We only give 10%. Now listen, look at this. The President of the United States appoints members of the Corporation Public Broadcasting Board, which oversees PBS and its member stations. These appointments are made in consultation with Senate leaders, and the Senate must confirm the appointees. Now, we hear a lot about Senate appointees and Senate confirmation. I've never heard. Now, think about that. Isn't it? Think about this. Think about this. I've never heard a public media publicize the fact that they are having Senate confirmations for their board. You're a public media company. Wouldn't it make sense for you to broadcast your own Senate confirmations and educate your audience that you are a fucking political puppet, DJ? Let me finish. Because, DJ, I want you to have fire next time you debate somebody on this so they understand when you just a Trumper, or you just a MAGA. No, it's bias. That's why Trump is shutting it down, because it's not only ineffective, but biased. Purposely biased. Let's read it. Purposely biased. It says, influence here by appointing board members. Listen, read, DJ, this is what I want you to show people. By appointing board members, the president exerts some influence over the direction and policies of PBS, which is significant provider of educational and cultural content. Did you read that shit? They admitted a lot of the shit that's in they admitted. We are the blame. We the fucking idiots. And anybody who don't love this Trump administration is an idiot. The reason that we should care is what DJ said. Yes, PBS don't teach nobody how to read, but that's bullshit. What DJ said is the most paramount reason, is that they are biased, and they are purposely biased. Biden appointed the board of PBS. And it says here that the president appoints the board of PBS because they understand propaganda and that PBS can sway culturally. Look, I'm going to read it again. By appointing board members, the president exerts influence over the direct cultural direction of the country. That says the president uses these board member appointees to influence culture. Propaganda. So think about if you were a career politician and you weren't a billionaire Trump, you would not want to defund and remove your ability to appoint chair people. Do you see? They don't never tell you both sides of the Trump coin. They say Trump is a racist, evil white man. But if he was a racist, evil white man and he wanted all this power, why would he remove his ability to appoint chairpersons at the PBS and influence culture and direction? That's what it says. It says influence culture and direction. Significant provider. So look, DJ said, I critically think regardless what political party we're on, we're all on. Exactly. Now, DJ, because you are like me, I did not know. This morning, I said PBS is ineffective at teaching kids to read because the reading and math scores is low. When I did my research and I heard that lady say that President Biden appointed the chairman at PBS, I was surprised because I didn't know the president was that interwoven into the media. We've been learning a lot about the propaganda and the government influence on media in Hollywood, but I did not know. I did not know that there were Senate confirmation hearings for PBS. That PBS, so a lot of us who are Republicans and conservative could argue Disney is liberal. Disney is liberal leaning. We could argue and people would debate us, how do you know Disney is liberal? You don't know what Disney is doing. We could argue and say, hey, PBS is liberal. PBS is leaning Democratic. And people would say, how do you know PBS is Democratic? You just a conspiracy guy on YouTube. No! PBS is leaning Democratic and purposely. And they admitted the president appoints the board at PBS to influence culture. And Trump just said, I don't want that power. Do you understand what Trump said? Trump didn't say we're not giving them money. Trump said no president should be able to influence the public like that. Hello, but the media is not telling you that. Why is your media not telling you the truth? Why is your media lying to you? Double tap and hit the like button. It's too many people watching and not enough people liking. The truth got to get out. I think everybody wants us to be stupid. Double tap the screen, hit the thumbs up, and share the show. Let Americans know the truth. How many Americans knew that Biden had appointed the board to PBS? And that when Trump is denying the money, that Trump is saying, I relinquish power. How many politicians give up power? Doge, making the government smaller, giving up power. This is unheard of. This is what we need in the country. Why do you think they want you to hate Trump? Do you see, this is counter narrative. Somebody asked me the other day, what's your podcast? I said, my podcast is counter narrative. The narrative is Trump is evil, racist white man. But the truth is, if he's an evil, racist white man, why does he keep relinquishing power and making sure the next president doesn't have powers that they shouldn't have the influence over you? If he's an evil white man, he would want to keep the power. He would appoint new board members. He would influence culture via PBS because legally, Trump has the power to influence culture via PBS, just like Biden did to you. Did you know Biden was influencing you? When culture shifted in the past 4 years, and a lot of people like us, conservative people, were saying, how is this happening? Did you understand that the president could appoint board members at a media company that's supposed to be publicly traded? Now, if it's a public company, if we funding it, then it should be both sides. Like DJ said, it should be fair and balanced. But legally, Biden had the ability to appoint board members, and it said so that he could sway things toward a more liberal agenda. Now, if I was Republican and I was power hungry, I wouldn't give up that power. If I was Republican and I was power hungry, I would want to take control of PBS. Donald Trump didn't do that. I pray you all understand. If I was Republican and power hungry, I would utilize my powers and I would affect culture with PBS. Trump relinquished that power. He has influence without PBS. He's a real leader. Trump is a real leader. He doesn't need to manipulate you with social media. DJ said, why C-SPAN? They cover a lot of these confirmation hearings. So I'm just sharing some knowledge. We just dropping some knowledge on Trump. Don't worry, we're going to get to XMen being real. How many people came to hear about XMen being real? Did y'all see the Joe Rogan and y'all figured out XMen is real? We're going to get to that. Don't worry about that. Let's get back to this, some more on this PBS. What else I got on this PBS? What else we got on this PBS?
The administration did not provide a reason for the firings, but CPB said in a statement today that it's, quote, not a government entity and its board members are not government officers subject to the president's authority. I spoke earlier with Paula Kerger, the CEO of PBS. Paula Kerger, welcome back to the NewsHour. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I always enjoyed spending time with you.
So there has been some reporting, I'm sure you've seen, the administration may delay sending that request to rescind those funds to while lawmakers are focused on the budget reconciliation process. What is your sense of the effort to rescind those funds? Is it a done deal at this point?
Well, I mean, we're trying to understand exactly what's happening, and it seems to be very much a moving target. Over the last few weeks, we've heard that a rescission package may be imminent, and then it hasn't come forward. But, you know, this is probably the most difficult and serious threat in the time that I've been in public broadcasting, this idea that funds that had already been put aside for public broadcasting would be taken away, really has tremendous implications to our stations, because that's actually where the resources go. Most of the money actually does not go to PBS or any national organization. It goes directly to our stations to help them support their operations.
So as you and your team go, I know you're meeting with lawmakers, speaking to them to make the case. What is the argument you're laying out to them, and what are you hearing in response?
Yeah, well, I think the most important thing is that, from our perspective, is to make sure that legislators, as they're thinking about very difficult decisions about how to deal with our country's budget, understand where these dollars go. It amounts to about $1.60 per person a year, just to put it into context. And the money goes directly to fund the operations of our stations across the country. When the Public Broadcasting Act was signed back in the late 60s, it was envisioned that public broadcasting would be a public-private partnership. This is different than many other public broadcasters around the world, which are largely state-supported. We are not. About 15% in aggregate numbers, that's 15% of the budget for public broadcasting comes from the federal government. The rest of it comes from contributed money from viewers like you.
So 15%. We talk about 15%, but it amounts to $1.60 a person and over $1 billion a year. And all I heard was double talk. I want to see statistics, data analysis, cost benefit analysis for my $1.60 a person. Is it worth it? Am I getting the benefit? And I would like you to relinquish the power of appointing board members so that you have influence over culture via TV media. I don't believe the president should have the power to appoint board members at NBC, ABC, CNN, or at PBS. Survivor 64119 said, why let them continue to bite the hand that feeds them? Double tap the screen, subscribe. If you're on a cell phone, you double tap to like. If you're on a computer, you hit the thumbs up, and then you hit the subscribe button in the corner. Now let's take a look at it. 15%. So only 15% is your taxpayer dollar. The rest of the money comes from your donation. Do y'all know? So I'm gonna talk about XMen being real, but last week I talked about Harvard and the $2 billion Trump been doing. So all these billions add up. To rich people, it's not a lot of money. But so $1 billion here, $1 billion there, $2 billion at Harvard. He canceled Harvard's $2 billion. The other day, Tucker Carlson had an account on there, and that accountant said something that was very powerful. She said, one of the most powerful money marketing groups in the whole globe is the Harvard Endowment. When I did my show, I said, why do we need to give Harvard $2 billion when Harvard has a $58 billion endowment, plus Harvard operates at a surplus? In 2024, Harvard accounting said they ended the fiscal year at $400,000 to the good. In 2023, they was like 80,000 to the good. So Harvard operates at a surplus. Harvard has legacy and a $58 billion endowment with a 10% return. I had CPAs and accountants in the chat said 10% is crazy. So then on Tucker Carlson, it says Harvard is a corporation. Remember when I looked up Yale and we found that Yale has real estate? Harvard has holdings. Harvard has real estate. So Harvard is a $1 billion corporation. Yale is a $1 billion corporation. Harvard is a $1 billion corporation with a school. Do you get it? Harvard is a $1 billion corporation, but Harvard owns the endowment, that's $58 billion, and the school. But it's up, it's like a bridge. Why does something like that need $2 billion in taxpayer money? Why does something like that need your money? And everyone who goes to Harvard is rich. So tell me why billionaires with a $50 billion endowment and legacy, do you know if you're rich and powerful, you don't even got to apply, you just get into Harvard because you're a legacy. So why do you need $2 billion every fucking year? And that's just one school. If you add up all the PWIs, predominantly white institutions, it's almost $50 billion a year because Yale gets billions, Brown gets billions, Harvard gets billions. They all get billions. On top of being billion-dollar corporations, they have billion-dollar investments in the stock market, billion-dollar investments in real estate. Why the fuck do they need taxpayer money? And check this out. Because they get taxpayer money, they get a tax break. Because they're school and we give them money, it's all a boondoggle. That's why Trump took the $2 billion. Because you know what they use that classification for? To not pay taxes. Billionaires find a way to cheat the system and not pay taxes. So that $1 billion endowment, Harvard operating at a surplus, is all tax-free. Even though the school is underneath a profitable corporation, they're stealing your money. They're stealing your money. There's no way in hell a corporation with one of the biggest endowments, one of the largest returns in any money marketing thing that you could purchase, and you can't get in the Harvard endowment. A regular everyday Joe like me and you can't benefit from that. But there are people making money. It's a 10% return. It's huge. It's a fucking $1 billion corporation outside of the... Survivor said, who's this? Spina? True. It's weird that Harvard is getting so much for no reason. Have they mentioned why? Is it another for sake of knowledge? There has to be a good reason, right? You would think there would be a good reason. But if we listen to Elon Musk and Doge, billions were going to dead people. We have billions getting thrown away at dead people. Someone 120, someone 150 years old. I want to believe it's for a good reason, but how can I when we have billions going to dead people, brand new babies who haven't been alive one day? People, Elon Musk said, scammers take their social security number and open up bank accounts. I didn't know that was possible. They said that your bank account, your social security number is a bank account, but I didn't believe them until Elon Musk and Doge said, when your child is born, they're given a social security number. Be careful because scammers in 2025 are taking newborn social security numbers and opening up small business loans. There were SSI and small business loans for people who are not even a year old. Scamming is Donald. Scamming is Mike Fine said, oh, we got somebody. We got a never Trumper. And okay, explain to us how scamming is Donald. Donald Trump is a billionaire. His son will be legacy out of PWI. Donald Trump is the type of person who could benefit from the Harvard endowment. Donald Trump is the type of person who can make money. So why would Donald Trump take away, again, his ability to profit and his ability to have power? I'm pro-American too. So tell me how Donald Trump is scamming. Sick bankruptcies. I've been in bankruptcy. How many Americans in the chat have filed bankruptcy? I don't know if filing bankruptcy qualifies you for scamming. I filed bankruptcy. I'm going to tell you a majority of Americans in the chat probably have filed bankruptcy before. And thank God. And why can't we put our student loans on the bankruptcy? Think about what I just said about Harvard and what my brother Spina just said about Harvard. But we can't write off our student loans. Harvard and these corporations and these colleges make all this money. Colleges weren't profitable before. So college makes all this money and we can't write off the student loans. Come on now. What? Tell me what's going on. This country is falling apart. So, did you hear the part about PBS? Did you know that President Biden had appointed the board members to PBS? Did you know that? Let's read it. Did you know that they appoint board members for influence? Did you know that? Here it is right here. Why the president appoints. Who knew in the chat that the president of the United States appoints board members to PBS? Why the presidents appoint? So I asked Google, well, why does the president appoint? By appointing board members, the president exerts some influence over the direction and policies of PBS, which significantly provide education and cultural content. So by appointing board members, the president has significant influence over America's culture. So when we saw a liberal push, When we saw a liberal shift in media, in paper, in our lives, at school, at work, it was real. People told us we were crazy. But Biden appointed board members to PBS, and they pushed PBS to lean liberal. And it was within his power. It was legal. It wasn't illegal. When I listen, hold on. Let me play this again. It wasn't illegal. What Biden did was part of his power. It was part of a presidential power. This executive order, Trump is giving up. When the last time you heard of a president giving up presidential power? And if Trump is evil, if Trump is a scammer, if Trump is evil and a scammer, why would he give up the ability to appoint board members at PBS? Because Trump is president 4 years, he appoints these board members. He can still have influence after his presidency. Biden still has influence because Biden appointees still worked at PBS until today when Trump fired them. Do you want Biden's influence? Do you want Sleepy Joe? Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Do you want Sleepy Joe influence after 80% of Americans voted for Trump? Well, guess what? Biden still had appointees at PBS, which is why we don't get the whole story. Every day I'm like, why the media is doing this to Trump? Well, guess what? Because Biden appointed the board members, and the board at PBS leans liberal Republican, but it's not illegal. It's not illegal. Rhonda McKnight said, "Are you rabid?" That's very cruel. So I'm going to put you on timeout for 5 minutes. I'm going to put you on timeout for 5 minutes. You can come back if you want, but if you don't come back, we won't be mad at you, Rhonda. But please don't be cruel in the chat. I'm not being cruel. I don't have to be attractive to you. Somebody gonna love me. What's that video with Black Youngster? If you don't love me, somebody gonna love me. Do 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 do. If you don't love me, somebody gonna love me. If you don't like it, somebody gonna like it. Ain't that what black women say all the time? If you don't like it, somebody gonna like it. Let's look at this board appoint. I didn't know the president appointed board members, and Donald Trump just fired Joe Biden's appointees. That might be why some of the Democrats are coming in the chat salty. Let's listen.
Including for this program. What's more, CPB sued the Trump administration in federal court today, saying the administration illegally fired 3 of its board members. Those members, all nominated to their current terms by President Biden, were terminated in an email on Monday.
So, Trump fired 3 board members at the PBS. All of them were appointed by Biden. I don't hear a lot of that today. And then we went to Google, and when you go to the barbershop, you got the information that the president appoints the board members to influence culture and education. Biden didn't do anything illegal. But what is amazing that happened today is the billionaire evil white man gave up power. It's going to be very hard for anybody to tell me Trump is a scammer or Trump is evil. How is Trump a scammer? How is Trump evil? Evil people don't give up power. They don't do it. Evil people don't relinquish power. So explain to me, MAGA time is ending soon. Mike Fine 09 said, DJ said, and if pressed, Mike Fine 09 couldn't give a coherent explanation of what he would do different. And it said, MAGA time is ending soon, TikTok. You meant MAGA time? Are you trying to say MAGA time? Trolls. It's all good. So hot in this mug, man. Let's see how we do. I cracked the window. Double tap the screen. All my people watching me, hit the thumbs up. Double tap the screen and like. So did y'all know that XMen Are Real? Let's see what else I got on PBS. What else I got on PBS? And then we're going to go to XMen Being Real. Did y'all know that XMen Are Real?
Said that they have a right to publish their biased coverage, but not. Let's start with the news on.
Let's start with, yeah, Biased coverage. I want to hear this. Come on, let's double tap, hit the thumbs up to like the video.
On PBS and NPR, you posted that they have a right to publish their biased coverage, but not at taxpayer expense.
Correct.
Yes. I mean, unless you've been living in your parents' basement playing video games, you know that in the last decade or so, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and its cousins, PBS and NPR, have become very, very left of center, in many cases almost woke in their reporting. That's their right. The First Amendment provides for that. The problem is that the American taxpayers give them $500 million a year to do that. So at least half, and I think probably 60 to 75% of Americans are paying these select few TV stations and radio stations to publish not the news, just their ideology.
Amen.
Again, under the First Amendment, they're entitled to do that, but they're not entitled to do it with taxpayer money. We're trying to save money. I say, and I've been saying for a while, let's just take the money away from them. They can do it on their own if they want to. And President Trump is sending us a bill when we get back after Easter. Happy Easter, by the way. After Easter,
I agree. If you want to, but this is the part that's being left out of this message. Americans need to know PBS doesn't hate you. PBS doesn't hate you. Today, what we got educated is that there's a presidential power. The reason PBS has been leaning liberal and left is because the heads of PBS were appointed by Obama and Biden. So all of us at home who have been feeling crazy, like we go to work every day, we don't see LGBT, trans, we don't see all this bullshit. But on TV, on the radio, you bombarded with trans, LGBT, black people hate white people hate black people. It's on the PBS media. And then we go to work and my wife is not black. My best friends are not black. So I wonder, where is this world that's portrayed on PBS? Where is the world that you see on the TV? Because every day I go to work, I work in the Northern California Bay Area where we have people from all over the world. Chinese, Japanese, Laotian, Vietnamese, Filipino, Pacific Islander, white, Russian, Polish, Slavic, Ukrainian, everybody. And we all get along with each other. We all love America. We all love our kids. We all pay taxes. We all pay rent. I don't see the world that people, think about this. So with the liberals having power, why do we hate each other? If the liberals are about love and the liberals are, and the left is against, if Donald Trump is evil, why when the liberals had power, why the people Biden appointed to their media, why do they make everybody hate each other? Why the liberal media only talk about race? When every day me and you go to work, go to school with everybody. I drop my son off at school. It's not an all black school. It's an American school. At school, it's going to be somebody who just came to America, somebody who just, a refugee, just came here. And you know what? My son going to be nice. Help him go to class. That's how I grew up in high school. Somebody came here from Yemen. I helped them walk to school. That's what it's like living in America every day. You don't get to live in just an enclave of just blackness or whiteness. Every day we go to work, we live and love everybody. But the Democrat liberal media over the past 4 years makes everybody hate each other. Why is everybody focused on race if the liberals were in charge of the media? Don't that seem weird? If the liberals want us to love each other, if the liberals hate Trump, why is it Trump trying to stop race baiting? Why is Trump trying to take race out of the discussion and put love and unity in America first back into the discussion? The liberals do not want to have a conversation without race. Isn't that kind of perverse? I'm asking, isn't that kind of perverse? Why do the liberals want to have the conversation about Trump is cutting money? Trump is about green. Everybody in the chat, what's your favorite color? White, black, or green? My favorite color is At Shannon Sharp. At Shannon Sharp. Oh shit. At Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, baby. Oh, yes, no money. Is it a rice bunny? Is it a salsa bunny? Is it a non-bunny? Is it a halal bunny? Is it a snow bunny? Shout out to Nah, my favorite color green, man. My favorite color green. Shout out to Umar Johnson. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Umar Johnson said, is it a rice bunny situation? Is it a snow bunny situation? Is it a salsa bunny? I said a salsa bunny. A halal. He said a halal bunny. It's a halal bunny. Who know about that halal bunny, honey? Okay, let me get back. I'm gonna get distracted, man. I still gotta talk about XMen being real. Okay, Daniel Rodriguez said, absolutely, I rarely witness what they try to feed us in the media, and I live 50 miles outside of DC. Let's get back. Oh, he done. We're gonna talk a little bit about the JRE who saw the JRE and XMen Are Real. Last night I'm telling my wife, so I watched the XMen, right? And I told my wife, I said, so XMen Are Real. Not only are XMen real, but they're old. So she's like, what you watching? I'm watching JRE. Joe Rogan has this guy on here talking about remote viewing. And he said he wrote his paper on remote viewing in 1975. And Princeton did their paper in 1978. Do you understand what they're saying? I'm 50. That's 50 years ago. So they had confirmed this is a quantum physics. This ain't no hokey shit. This is a real quantum physicist who got into remote viewing. Does everybody know what remote viewing is? Remote viewing is ESP, telepathy. Remote viewing is when you could say, in that room, tell me what's in that room. Draw a picture of what's in that room. So what DJ said, it's mind control, and unfortunately millions out there still buy into the most important thing is to keep getting your message out there. Correct? Thank you, brother. Jerry Peel said, NPR PBS was obviously biased, everything negative about the entire administration. Correct. Who remembered Donna Brazile? Donna Brazile was gone. Who remembered Donna Brazile? Who remembered Donna Brazile cheating for Hillary Clinton, getting caught, and Hillary Clinton still being able to run for president? Imagine if we was in high school. Imagine you was in college and you running for class president and you get caught cheating in a debate. Well, guess what would happen to you? If you were in high school, or even if you were at work, bro, you would get fired, bro. You would not be able to continue your... You would not be able to continue to run for president if you were caught cheating in a presidential debate in any other circumstance. That motherfucker still wanted to run for president. That's why she lost. She got caught cheating. Donna Brazile gave her the questions. And now we understand more intricately what is happening at these news media organizations. They have a man on the inside. Remember Denzel Washington, inside man? Well, the liberals and the Democrats have had an inside man. Donna Brazile was an inside man. PBS is an inside man. We have wondered how they have had such a stranglehold on culture and influence in America for the past 4 years. Did you know that they were appointing board? So they, on Joe Rogan, they always say, oh, the CIA has an office in Hollywood. But we didn't know for a fact, like I read to you today, the law. It's a law. It's not illegal. It's not espionage. It's legal. The president gets to appoint board members at PBS. We all should be in the chat saying, why? Who created that? Why would the president, and it's written down, why does the president have influence? We're supposed to have First Amendment. Think about everything the Democrats always tell you, oh, Trump trying to take your First Amendment. But the Democrats is the one keeping you stupid. The Democrats were manipulating you. They were creating content, liberal-leaning content. You thinking that the country is just going in a liberal direction, but Donald Trump won by 80%. So turns out the only thing going left was PBS. Ha ha! Ha ha! The only thing going left was PBS. The American people were center right. That's why Trump won. That's why Democrats voted for Trump, because Democrats couldn't figure out what's been going on in my country. What? Shut the front door. What's been going on in my country? What do you hear, Bill Maher? Bill Maher went to have dinner with Trump. Bill Maher is made to be demonized because Bill Maher said Trump is a nice guy. Trump is funny. Trump was welcoming. Trump was not the person. Okay, listen to this so everybody understands. Everybody remember Bill Maher 2 weeks ago went to go have dinner with Trump. And Bill Maher was trying to explain. Let me explain it for the people in the chat. You know what Bill Maher was saying? Trump is not the character created and portrayed by liberal media. Bill Maher, it's not that Trump has a dual personality. Trump is the same Trump you met and had dinner with. The truth is, Bill Maher, that liberal media like PBS, led and created by Biden, created a character, a narrative of who Trump is. My name is perfect. This is the Perfect Timing Podcast. What we do here is counter narrative. And Bill Maher saw the real Trump, which is counter PBS narrative. Trump is not two people. Trump doesn't have dual personalities. PBS is propaganda. So American people see one thing on PBS. Bill Maher got to see the real person. Bill Maher got to see the guy who's going to work every day. Bill Maher got to see the guy who's going to relinquish power over PBS. Bill Maher is the billionaire. Got to meet the billionaire who said Harvard can't have any more money. Billionaires don't do that to billionaires. That's why Jeff Bezos, so much has happened, bro. Jeff Bezos tried to put up the tariff. Trump got on his head. Take that shit down. And ain't nobody talked about it. Take that shit down. Bezos, bitch. Who you think you is, Jeff Bezos? Like you the president? He put that motherfucker in check. He was up 5 seconds and no one ever said what that was power move. Y'all want to talk about power? Power, checking power, checkmate, punk. I said, do you remember when Walmart came to your town? Do you understand as long as you have Amazon and Walmart, you gonna never make more than $7 an hour? Fuck Jeff Bezos. Fuck Walmart. Fuck Amazon. Fuck that cheap shit from Temu in China. And Trump said, fuck you, Jeff Bezos. Take that tariff shit down. Because the truth is, we done made China rich. The truth is, when Walmart came to the Midwest, the factories left. And when you used to have a pension working at the factory, now you work at Walmart and Walmart don't give you shit. Walmart is a subsidy. Walmart gets subsidized like PBS. Did you know Walmart is subsidized like PBS? Did you know Walmart, they only pay you $7 an hour and they getting money and they profitable just like Harvard? Why are all these billion-dollar institutions that are profitable taking your taxpayer dollars? So Walmart gets money from the government too? Yes! Look it up, god damn it! Walmart is subsidized. Your job when you apply for a job at Walmart, what does it say? Has anybody, it don't even care if you, it says, has anybody at this address received welfare in the past 18 months? Because if you or anybody in the house that you live in has received welfare in the past 18 months, the government is going to subsidize your employment. Basically, it's a free job. You basically work for the federal, socialized. This is basically socialism. But there's a rich white person in Walmart who getting rich. It's socialism, but they're billionaire Waltons. Are you confused? I'm confused. I'm confused because billionaire Waltons don't need my subsidy. Billionaire Harvard endowments don't need my subsidy. And as long as we have Jeff Bezos, and Jeff Bezos is playing games, Jeff Bezos is playing games with what Trump is doing, ending globalization. Jeff Bezos ain't the president. I didn't vote for you, Jeff Bezos. Fuck you and fuck Amazon. I'm done with globalization. I'm done with Amazon. Fuck you, fuck T-Mobile, fuck Walmart. I want my son to make more than $7 an hour. And as long as Walmart exists, my son, see, this is the thing, Americans so fucking pussy. So fucking pussy. You need to make more money to buy goods that cost more, but you are in the same situation right now today. You can't afford rent. You can't afford goods. You need to make more money. Walmart is not going to pay you more money. Amazon is not going to pay you more money. They just not. Jeff Bezos is going to keep that money in his pocket. We funded the Chinese military. I think about that every time I buy Holosun products, DJ. We funded that. When I talked about this, I said, do you remember when Walmart came to your town? Because I remember when Walmart came to Napa, and Napa fought Walmart for 10 years. There used to be a small grocer in Napa called Valergus. They fought Walmart for 10 years. When Walmart came to Napa, Valergus supermarket went out of business, and a lot of the Valergus had multiple supermarkets in Napa and employed a lot of people and families in Napa and paid good wages and a pension. It wasn't like working at Walmart where they pay minimum wage and you got to go to government health care. Valergus was a real corporation that took care of its people. Walmart don't do that. Small business is going to treat you better because they need you. You become part of the company. When you work at somewhere just to 50 employees, though every employee counts when it's only 50 employees, and you become part of the family. And we care if you live or die. We care about your quality of life. Well, Walmart has how many employees? It's hard to care about your quality of life. How many employees does Walmart have? How many employees does Walmart have? How many employees do Walmart have? 2 million employees. Walmart, it's hard to care. So think about this, what I said. Walmart has 2 million employees. What if all of them have 401ks through Walmart? How much money are they stealing on the back end? Approximately 2.1 million associates. Quick facts. Tomorrow, Walmart operates more than 10,000 stores and clubs in 19 countries, commerces, websites as of fiscal year 2024 and employed 2 million people. 10,000 Walmarts. We don't need that many Walmarts. Donald Trump told Jeff Bezos, take that tariff shit down because you are, and again, it's another way of propaganda and lying to the American people. When you put that tariff up, you say to the American people that they are losing. When you could eat that cost, you a billionaire. That cost don't fucking bother you, and that cost is what's making Americans homeless. And you don't tell them that. When you put the tariff up, you don't tell them that your consumption of low priced goods is why your quality of life is deteriorating. Can people start being honest? Do you want the dollar store or do you want a pension? And this is the question, like my people in the chat said, do you want the dollar store or a pension for your son? Do you care more about your kid? We can't be the baby boomers. The baby boomers didn't give a fuck about their kids. So millennials, the Gen Xers, we cannot be like the baby boomers. We have to care more about the kids. So I don't want the dollar store for my son. I don't want $7 minimum wage. I want higher wages. So I am down with ending globalization. And we need to understand that. What else we got today? PBS chief decries Trump executive order directing federal funding to cuts PBS and NPR are lawful. The head of PBS said Friday that President Trump aiming to slash public subsidies. I told you PBS and NPR was blatantly unlawful. Public Broadcasting Service CEO Paula Krager said Republican president's order threatens our ability to serve American public the educational programming as we have for the past 50 plus years. I asked earlier, did you watch PBS and what show? Because I said I want to do a cost benefit analysis. A ROI, return on investment. If you watch PBS, or you could be grown with gray hair like me, you could have a 20-year-old child. Did your child watch PBS? What I want to know is what was the cost benefit analysis? Did you watch PBS and was it beneficial? Did your child watch PBS and did you see a beneficial effect on their reading, learning, or math based on the fact that your taxpayer dollars, you go to work every day, you pay taxes, you're paying for the PBS programming. You're paying for it to lean left. I'm asking you cost benefit analysis. Did you get benefit out of the money that you spent? Right now, their chat should be loaded. Somebody said, Joe, the chat should be loaded with people talking about, I watch Super Why. I learned this from Super Why. I watched Sesame Street. I learned this from Sesame Street. My son watched Meet the Lions. He learned his ABCs and 1, 2, 3s because we're giving billions of dollars. If we're giving billions of dollars, we need to do a cost benefit analysis and understand the ROI of PBS and NPR. It's the same thing with the Department of Education. The Department of Education only came about in 1980. I did a show on the Department of Education. How many people in the chat know that the Department of Education was created in 1980 around Scantron bubble testing? Daniel said, we need to bring back tradesmen, being popular industry, manufacturing, etc., etc. I can afford to send my kids to college, but I want them to be valued. Yes, sir. James said, higher wages brings higher prices. I don't want to call you stupid, James, but it's too late. And I'm going to say that the most disrespectful way I can. It's too late, James. It's too late. So it's like, that's a hurtful joke. I mean, you ever heard the term, I won't call you stupid. I'm going to say willful ignorance. Do you know how damaging willful ignorance can be, James? Right now, you're exhibiting a willfulness to be ignorant. Like you're gleefully stupid. You're smiling as you go into hell in a handbasket. You have a stupid grin on your face. You ever heard the term a stupid grin? Willfully ignorant. I think it's dangerous. People like James is dangerous. Did you know how much gas costs? Do you know if you guys paid the same amount that we pay in the Bay Area for gas, we would be in the fucking apocalypse? We pay almost $7, $8 for gas in California at times of the year. If you only making $7 an hour, you can't pay $7 a gallon for gas. Willful ignorance will be our, remember the movie Idiocracy? There is a lot of idiots and they come and they see the numbers and they want to say something. They think it's funny. It's willfully ignorant and dangerous when we know how much gas and energy is. We just saw blackouts all across Spain, France, and Portugal. And this idiot is in my chat talking about higher prices like it's 1950. You're fucking idiot. He going on timeout. Who going on timeout? He going on timeout for 5. Who else thinks I'm wrong? You're an idiot. No one is gonna agree with you. You going on timeout. I'm gonna put you on timeout. You could come back after 5 minutes. You need to go get your life together, James. You on timeout for 5 minutes. In my chat today, someone talked about how much they pay for gas. Anybody want to talk about the power bills? It's 80 degrees today. It's going to be 90 this weekend. Anybody want to talk about how much it costs in Texas or California? Your power, because Texas and California have a unique power grid. It's one of the most expensive states, right? Texas and California are some of the most expensive states in a unique power grid with some of the most expensive power bills. People died in Texas. We have brownouts in California. Do you realize in California, just like in UK, France, Portugal, and California, we don't have enough bandwidth for the people. So when it gets 100 triple degrees, the energy people here tell you buy water, buy flashlights, because in California, we have something called mandatory brownouts. It's not a blackout. It's when they voluntarily turn your power off. Because if they don't turn the power off, the power grid would explode. Is this thing on? Is this fucking thing on for the fucking idiots? That's right now in California. Same thing in Texas. This summer in California, when it gets triple digits, PG&E will go through systematic brownouts. They have to, because everyone can't run their air conditioner at the same time. The power grid can't take it. It's too late for all that liberal Democrat bullshit. It's too late. And I don't want a $7 minimum wage. Do you know how many people even know what the minimum wage is? Joe Budden had a podcast and they said, what's the minimum wage? Everybody got it wrong. Everybody said $15, $20. Minimum wage is $7.25. The minimum wage in Georgia, the state minimum wage in Georgia is $5.15. I'm gonna look it up right now. How much is the federal minimum wage? How much is Fed minimum wage? Huh? How much is the minimum wage? As we talk about billion-dollar endowments, as we talk about $2 billion endowments, as we talk about Doge, as we talk about the Small Business Administration giving away loans to dead people, as we talk about Social Security giving away Social Security to dead people, as we talk about the Department of Education wasting billions, as we talk about billions, like everyday American people can understand billions. Everyday American people don't understand billions. What you need to understand is that the federal minimum wage is $7 and that Walmart employs 2 million people. Walmart employs 2 million people. Walmart employs 2 million people. The federal and Walmart pays $7 an hour. It says, Peyton's mom, IRS worker salaries have direct correlation. For every dollar spent on salary, $4 is returning to our tax pool. Explain she firing of IRS workers. You want more IRS workers based on that number. When rich billion, I love this question. This is the fire question. You want more IRS oversight on everyday Americans when you and I both watched the debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, where they both admitted that they don't pay taxes. Where I just told you about a Jeff Bezos who don't pay taxes. We talked about Elon Musk at Doge who don't pay taxes. This whole podcast today is about PBS and how there is a government law that the president legally can appoint the board members at PBS. The reason the president has that power, they have to be approved by the Senate. I've seen Senate confirmations since I was a little boy. I remember watching the hair on the Coca-Cola can. Clarence Thomas, Senate confirmation. I've never seen a PBS board member Senate confirmation, even though the media and propaganda is so important. So today we learn that the president, and on Monday, Trump fired. Listen, let me play it again. On Monday, Trump fired Biden's appointees. I couldn't believe that Biden still had appointees. So when the people are like, hey, Trump is doing a good job, but all the media is out here saying all this negative stuff, it's because Biden appointees still run PBS. Biden appointees still run and have influence over state subsidized media. So today, I don't even know if I didn't know it. Do you think Trump knew? I know Trump and everyone in the chat, we knew that PBS leaned Democrat. But do you think Trump knew that the reason PBS was leaning Democrat and so heavily going after him is because there were Biden appointees running the company, creating the media that was counter what the president is doing, that's going with the narrative? And then it's not about the money today. For me, for my audience, it's not about the money. It's not about the money at PBS. It's about the fact that people think Trump is evil and racist, but today he relinquished power. And my argument is evil, racist, power-hungry people don't relinquish power. Because by Trump signing this executive order, he takes away his ability and any other Republican conservative president ability to do the same thing the Democrats did. Do you guys get that? Because typically what we've seen is tit for tat. Oh, you did an appointee? I'm going to do an appointee. Or you did propaganda? I'm going to do propaganda. Not make America great. Not America first. Not Democrat first. Not Republican first. But America first. America first means I don't want the power either. No Republican will be able to appoint board members at PBS either. That's powerful. That's the biggest thing for me today. No Republican will be able to appoint board members at PBS and then affect culture via television media. If he's evil, racist, and power hungry, if he wants to be King Trump, why did he relinquish power? His executive order took away power from him. Why isn't MSNBC explaining that to you? That with this executive order, Trump is giving up power. Trump had the power to appoint board members and legally affect culture. He could use PBS as a bully pulpit, the same way Biden and Obama did. Instead, he said, I'm going to put America first. I'm not going to put Republican and conservative agenda first because I could use PBS. I could fire those board members. I could appoint conservative board members, and me and you would see a different direction at PBS. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, wow, we got a racist? We got a racist in the chat? You know, the other day I was saying, you know, you can say a lot of things in the chat, but when it's a black man and it's a content creator, YouTube allows the trolls to be racist. If I say certain thing, the algorithm will pick it up. I can get cut off. I can get flagged. But it does not feel good how YouTube algorithm is cool with racism. And the racist trolls come in here and have a great time every day. That bothers me, bro. The left-leaning YouTube algorithm won't let you say anything derogatory about women or black women, but it allows racism, blatant racism in my chat. Let me get you up out of here, man. Get you up out of here, man. All right. I know, DJ. I know. I'm going to put DJ on timeout. All right. Enough with the jokes, y'all. Enough with the jokes.
Administration is expected to ask Congress to rescind more than $1 billion of funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, or CPB. That's the congressionally created body through which NPR and PBS get federal funding. Administration is expected to ask Congress to rescind more than $1 billion of funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Corporation for Public Broadcasting. So I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a great day. Today's Friday. Make sure you tap in with me Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. live for Everyday Trump Today. Everyday Trump Today. Everyday Trump Today. Make sure you guys tap in, subscribe, do like this. If you old like me, you got to do like this to like the show. Double tap the screen. If you're on the computer, hit the thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go to my channel, subscribe, check out the playlist, check out the Trump playlist. If you want to hear my opinions on the Department of Education, on Doge, on the small business loans, on the SSI, on Harvard endowment, go to my channel, subscribe to Perfect Timing Podcast, and check out the Trump Everything playlist. Okay? Thank you guys for coming in. This your boy, Agent J. This your boy, Agent J. The overweight Will Smith. The overweight lovers in the house. The overweight lovers in the house. It's Agent J. The overweight Will Smith. The lover from another mother. You know what I'm saying? The lover from undercover. I got 1,000 Funko Pop. And you know what? Today I was cleaning up and I found the new Megatron. This is my Megatron. Y'all, how many versions of Megatron has there been? You know, I'm old. I had the original Megatron. The original Megatron was a real gun and it got outlawed. You know, the game be rapping about, I remember getting robbed for my Charles Barkley's. And well, basically, when people was getting robbed for their Charles Barkley's, Megatron was metal and it was a gun, and somebody got shot and hurt, and so they changed Megatron. So they made Megatron into something else, and then in the new movie they did Megatron into a tank. So here go Megatron right here, and I got Megatron. I got Megatron with me, and I think I had Shockwave. I had Shockwave or Soundwave. Where's Shockwave? So Agent J and Megatron about to have a battle. Agent J, get out of the box, nigga. Get out, you don't want nothing. Get out the box, nigga. Nigga, get out the box. Agent J, I will take out my scanner and erase all of your memory, you robot cocksucker. Get out the box, nigga. You don't want that. Stay in the box, punk. You a box punk. You a box punk. I'm a transformer. Nigga, get out the box, nigga. Shout out to everybody who watched today. Who else I got in here? I had this the new Aquaman right here. This the new Aquaman right here, man. Who collect Funko Pops, man? What's your Funko Pop collection looking like, man? You fucking with me on the Funko Pops? Look, check me out. You fucking with me on the Funko Pops? I don't know. I got a crazy collection. Check me out. It's starting from the bottom. Now we here. Look, it go all the way down. Starting from the bottom. Now we here. All the way down. More Funko Pops. Star Wars, Ice Cube, Biggie Smalls. I got Jam Master Jay, Run DMC. Who fucking with me on the pop collection? Let me know who want to have a pop battle. Who want to have a pop battle? Man, I want to show my Shockwave, man. Soundwave and Shockwave, them were some of my favorite Transformers, man. It was in my pocket, man. Man, maybe next time I'll show you guys. Oh, wait, who was this? Here we go. Okay, who is this Megatron? And this is, who is this? Is this another Megatron? Is this a McDonald's Megatron? Is you Megatron, nigga, or is I'm Megatron? No, this ain't Megatron. Is this Megatron or is this Soundwave? Y'all let me know. Is you Megatron or is you Soundwave? This Megatron. This is a McDonald's Megatron. Look at the remember in the movie where you had the little thing right there, and then you could go like this. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, there you go. And then it flipped down, and then you go like this and bring it up, and then he's back with the Megatron core right there. Transformers 1. So, great show today. Check out the Sean Ryan show this weekend, man. He's had several guests on from government telepathy programs. You find out pretty interesting if you like the Joe Rogan. Thanks for the great podcast for sure. I'll check it out. Yeah, man, we didn't get to XMen Being Real, man, but y'all go check out Joe Rogan and the XMen Being. So I was talking to my wife real quick, 5 minutes before I went to bed last night. I was watching Joe Rogan and I told my wife, I said, nigga, you're going to hell. And then look, is that a monkey? Is that a monkey with a hat on? The trolls is unbeatable, man. Like, how do you do it so fast, man? How do you create an account, a name, a picture? Is that a monkey with a hat on? It says Boss B. It's not Megatron. It should be a commercial. Is that a bird? Is that a plane? Is that No, that's Niggatron. It's Niggatron. Go to hell, man. But real quick, the X-Men are real. Who knew the X-Men are real? And not only are the X-Men real, Nick Fury. I don't got a Nick Fury. So not only are the X-Men real, but Nick Fury is real. So I brought it up. So Joe Rogan had this guy on here talking about remote viewing. I don't know if you know what remote viewing is or not, but he's talking about remote viewing, right? And he said, he told a story. So ESP, if you got something in the box, tell me what's in the box. Draw a picture. I got a bird in the box. He drew a picture of a blue bird. It's a yellow flower in the box. The guy in the next room drew a picture of a yellow flower. So the CIA comes and say, okay, that's not real. He makes the CIA a remote viewer. He becomes one of the best remote viewers in the program. So they do it because they say Russia has people working with telepathy and ESP, right? Moving shit with their mind, seeing shit with their mind. And so they see this guy doing these experiments. So they give him money and say, okay, we got to compete with the Russians. One of the things that stood out to me. So number one, the study that was written where he proved that it's real, ESP, telepathy, all that shit is real in 1975. Princeton did their report in 1978. After that, he went on to explain that once we developed the program got taken over by the government in the PSYOP, CIA. What are we learning from Candace Owens about the CIA and Mossad and the connections to the mafia and World War II? This is some scary shit. When we understand that the mafia, Nazis, CIA, and Mossad and the people who created the Israel lobby had access to remote viewers. What have they been remote viewing? Okay, put that to the side. So he tells a story, right? So they develop a program. The CIA gets involved. The government gets involved. They're involved because Russia already has what they call a remote viewing program, meaning people with ESP, people who could read, people who could not. I'm not talking about reading minds right now. Okay, I know I said X-Men is real. I'm not talking about reading minds. I'm talking about being able to tell you what's in your pocket with certainty, right? Or being able to tell you where you had lunch, where you had dinner. That's remote viewing, but it got more advanced. I'm just keeping it very granular right now. Okay, so then he goes into a story where he talks about President Carter exposing remote viewing, where he said, after President Carter was no longer president, they asked him, hey, what's something weird that happened while you were president? President Carter talks about plane going down and how they use remote viewers to find the plane. Let me see if there's something on President Carter remote viewing. So President Carter said that they found the plane via remote viewing. And that's when I laughed and I said to my wife, the X-Men are real. Because when they say President Carter said they found a plane via remote viewing, and the guy on Joe Rogan said, well, they called who called who? And then who got who? So this has had to be Nick Fury. Somebody called Nick Fury, and then they went to where? To get the remote viewers, because the remote viewers not at home. He said Stanford and Princeton. So who had the remote viewers? Where the remote viewers living? You can't put the remote viewers in a regular place because Russia also has remote viewers, and Russia has espionage. So if Russia knows where our remote viewers are, especially if they're that good, they would steal them, right? Or try to compromise them. So where are the remote viewers living? Are they living in a Starks Tower? You know what I'm saying? And who's managing the remote viewers? And what do they wear? Uniforms? Think about what the fuck they're saying. What do you mean? Someone called who? Who called who? Who called who? Did they call Iron Man? Did they call Nick Fury? Who did they call David Beck? Who the fuck did they call? And where did they call? What did they do to the set? How did they do it? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the fucking X-Men. This is fucking Dr. Doom. Why? I know it might be salacious, but what I'm saying is the motherfucking remote viewers at a certain point could not just be people living in a normal house, because the whole world knew about remote viewing except us, and we had competing remote viewing programs. Russia is spying on us. We are spying on Russia via that word is escaping me this morning. So, let me play this. Because what's odd to me is when they say somebody called us, and called who? Did they call the X-Men? Who called who? Who called who? So it's a lot to unpack. We could unpack the fact that there's remote viewing, and that think about what he said. The CIA, the head of the CIA, like he tried to say it like nonchalant, like the head of the CIA didn't know about it. No, the head of the CIA knew. They wanted to get this Russian plane. So Nick Fury called this lady in California who was a medium, who was able to find the plane and with the exact longitude and longitude. But what we find from the Joe Rogan is that Jimmy Carter wasn't supposed to say that. Jimmy Carter was exposing a program that had been in existence for 20 years under government surveillance. The motherfucker on Joe Rogan wrote his paper in 1975. Jimmy Carter was president in what? And right before Ronald Reagan in like 1980. So we talk about 20 years go by. And this program has been going by successfully, and the CIA is able to access the X-Men, and motherfucking Jean Grey finds the motherfucking plane. So this is what I want to say. This is what I want to say before we get out of here. Okay, so the X-Men are real. Motherfucking Jean Grey, Nick Fury found the motherfucking plane in 1979, right? It's 2030. So in the X-Men movie, he created a mechanism to enhance his ESP abilities. If they found it and funded and started this program in 1975, 50 years ago, when people had 8 tracks, there was no cell phone, there was no computer, there was no CD, there was no 4K fiber optics. In the future that we live in now, how do we look at this now? Have they developed he's a quantum physicist. The guy on Joe Rogan is a quantum physicist. So has he developed a microchip to help regular people do this? Is there a microchip that can do this? Is there, like in the XMen movie, is there a helmet that the woman from California who found the plane can put on and make herself? It has to be some technological advancements to go along with this in 2030, because they've been doing it for 50 years. So not only are the X-Men real, how advanced are they? Because they established the program in 75. They found the plane in 1980. When they established the program, we didn't have microcomputers. We didn't have fiber optics. We didn't have the internet. With the internet, what capabilities have they created? A Dre Beats headphone. Have they created Google Glass to enhance the abilities of our X-Men? So Xavier is real and Magneto is real. Now, this is at a very granular level. One of the first stories he told Joe Rogan, with the first remote viewer, he was able to get a reading out of a quantum chip that was encased, and then encased again. It was so encased that he couldn't even know that the quantum chip was in there. And nothing could affect this quantum chip. He was able to affect the quantum chip with his mind, i.e. Magneto, move matter. So in the X-Men movie, Magneto went through extreme pain, and then that's when he found out that he had this ability to move metal or move matter. The doctor said it's a bell curve. Everybody knows how to do ESP. This morning on Twitter, I saw a lady exposing another government program with magnetos, people who know how to move things with their mind. So the X-Men are real and have been real for 50 years. They talked about aliens. I didn't get that far. As far as I got was understanding that Jimmy Carter told a story about the head of the CIA contacting a so-called medium, and Joe Rogan's guest saying that's not what happened. What happened is our program had been in existence for over 10 years, and they asked us, which they do on a normal basis, to go to work. The X-Men went to work and found the plane. The X-Men are real, and the X-Men are old. Ain't that crazy? Not only are X-Men real, but the original X-Men are probably fucking old as shit. That's crazy. Go watch the latest Joe Rogan. And people gonna be like aliens and all that. No, what I took away from the Joe Rogan is that X-Men are real. And I thought about the movies. I thought about Hollywood propaganda. I thought about PBS. Think about PBS today. And I thought about the way the X-Men movies came, especially the first one. The X-Men are real. He says everybody has the ability to have ESP and intuition. I know that because I grew up with a woman. Anybody grew up with a mom? Moms have ESP. Moms have it's proven. They proved it. You could go into this remote viewing thing. You could just go into mothers. Certain mothers have this ability with their children. And you know what I read one day? Because the mother gestates the baby, they share genes. And this is maybe why ESP is like, it's almost like the avatar. And we don't talk about this. So because the mom and the baby, they're growing together, there's an exchange of genes. And even when the baby is born, there's a connection that cannot be seen. That's not broken. That connection is never broken. Just because they're no longer, think about this. The mom and the baby was one person. I mean, it sounds, there's the X-Men and all this shit. The mom and the baby was one person. Just like in the movie, just like you would draw a two-headed thing. We don't think about it like that. To make humans swallow it, we create pregnancy as this beautiful, glorious thing. But really, the woman turns into a monster. That's what's happening. We're human beings. And when she gets pregnant, she's turned into a monster. She ingests I have other living things in my body. We ain't got to go to another planet. I got sperm living in my body. The sperm are humans. Millions of humans live in my body. That's weird enough. Then my female takes one of my living human beings, and then they become one person. Think about how weird this is. But we call it beautiful because it's pregnant. So she takes one of my living things. How weird is it that I walk around with a goddamn universe in my sack? Men walk around with a universe in their balls. Millions of sperm in their balls. She takes one of my sperm. She turns into a fucking monster. She turns into a two-headed. First she turns into one thing. The two become one and the two become two. She got a head. And then she starts to grow a head in her stomach. She starts to grow a belly. She starts to grow everything in her stomach that she has already. It's weird as fuck. She already has a head. She already has a breast. But she has cocooned what we call an embryo, an egg, a sac. We don't know how it fucking happens. It's monster shit. It's monster level shit. It's Dracula level shit. Somehow this bitch then created a bag in her body. I can't do it. I can't create a bag in my body. Bitch, if you spit in my mouth, I don't take that spit and magically take that spit and turn it into a bag and grow another person and shit out my ass. The bitch takes my spit, a bag, she creates a bag in her body. Within that bag in her body, she takes nutrients from her body, feeds the bag. Inside of her, she go to work, she fuck. She eats shit, piss, and fuck for 9 months. And at the same time, sometimes people don't even know that the bitch is growing another little bitch inside of her. So 9 months, she's a two-headed monster. She has the ability for 9 months to function as a normal human being. At the same time, she's growing another human being. Then she goes through what we call birth, but basically she evacuates, expels, just like a pimple or pus, the baby comes. And it grows into another, but they were one. It came from me. Even though it came from me, it bonded with her because it grew in her. It became one, then it became two. Now it's on its own. But the gene therapy, what happened, they never get disconnected. So even when a child is away from its mom, it can tell if a mom is sick. Like twins. You know how twins can know if, I know if my twin is cold. I know if my twin is hot. The mom and the baby have that too. And it's because they all shared the same blood. So it's like the avatar then, right? Because if you keep going back, we all came from one mother. That's like Avatar, right? And in the Joe Rogan, he talks about when he started the experiment, how he had a friend with the lie detector hooked up to a plant. And he got the plant to lie. The plant is a living thing. That's how the remote viewing program started. They had a lie detector hooked up to a plant. Ain't that crazy? All right, I've been going too long. I've had that theory that mother's intuition is quantum communication too. You're the only other person I've heard say that. God is good, man. You here for a reason. You here for a reason. God brought us here for a reason, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Thank y'all for watching. Anybody hasn't seen that Joe Rogan? Oh, it's great. And now I've heard Joe Rogan mention remote viewing for years. I never knew the extent. And the most surprising thing is that they had it confirmed in 75. How do you feel about that? As we talk about PBS, as we talk about state subsidized media and propaganda, that they knew about this since, what else? Because this is like huge. Jimmy Carter just talked about it. This is huge. And they knew about it for 50 years? And they control PBS? Maybe that's why we don't know. And everybody wants us to keep giving money to PBS. Maybe the reason you don't know about remote viewing is because the state controls the media. Because the president puts board members on PBS. And the president didn't want you to know about remote viewing. How could they have something like this for 50 years and you not know about it? How could they have a PBS media and appointed by the president and you not know about it? I mean, you saw Sesame Street turn liberal. You saw Sesame Street turn LGBTQ, and you was like, damn, it's everywhere. I don't experience it in my life, but for some reason on every television show, they are pushing trans and gay down my throat and my children's throat. And not only that, but their version. Because I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and the real life trans lifestyle and gay lifestyle is very different than what the liberal media portrays. They shove down their narrative. And all of us real Americans living in real America who have gay kids, trans kids, who live this real life, who go to high school, who love our children, we don't see what the liberal media depicts. And all of us are wondering, why are we being bombarded? What we learned today. What did we learn today? The president appoints the board so he can influence culture. So now you know why in the past 4 years, because all of us was like Kamala Harris, Mike Waltz. It didn't make sense. They didn't get no votes. It didn't track. Democrats and Republicans alike. Nobody liked Mike Waltz and Kamala. So we couldn't figure it out. Does it make sense to you now why you kept seeing it was all propaganda? They were running PBS. They were running CNN. They were running MSNBC. It wasn't conjecture. They had real influence of the media, which is why you got sick and tired of watching the news. That's why you don't watch anymore. That's why you don't watch anymore. You kept wondering, why does this shit sound like this? It's not my real life. I know gay people. I know trans people. This is not how we live every day. Why is NBC doing this? Why is PBS doing this? Now you know. And Trump didn't just take away the money. He relinquished his right to do the same. Trump gave up his right. He fired those board members. And with this executive order, removing the state, separating the powers, presidents going forward will never be able to appoint a board member. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tapping in. Thank you to everybody who hit the like button. There is a super chat. My Cash App is $Big D Rants. If you love me, you could hit the super chat. You could go ahead and donate via Cash App, $BIGDRANTS Big D Ranch. Y'all know I'll be on here ranting, yelling and screaming and getting passionate. That's why my Cash App is $Big D Rants. But go ahead, tap in, hit the Cash App, hit the super chat, hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, double tap. I will see you guys every morning, 10 a.m. for up-to-date current events and a great live podcast conversation. Thank y'all for tapping in. Bless everybody, man. Be blessed. Bless America and the president.